12 Angry Men tells the story of a jury of 12 deciding the fate of a young man accused of murdering his father. Originally made as an indictment against McCarthyism, it shows how the moral beliefs of just one man can save a life, as the jury decides in the end to find the boy not guilty. This film is regarded as one of the greatest ever made, but why? Yes, the story itself is very harrowing, as the judge himself puts it.
Premeditated murder is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. The death sentence is mandatory in this case. You're faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, gentlemen.
But it's no visual stunner or blockbuster like the great movies we think of today. In the teleplay and play the film were adapted from, didn't enjoy nearly as much success either. So why is it so great? The answer to that can be found in M. Bakhtín's essay, Art and Answerability. In it, he describes how, when a human being is in art, he's not in life, and conversely. But they should be unified, and it is only through the unity of answerability that can be done. You must become guilty and liable in your art and life, and all your moments across both must be interpenetrated. As without it, nothing in those two worlds will have any effect on the other. And how dismal would life without art and art without life be? So now take 12 Angry Men. How is it answerable to life? Well, it confronts you.
What do you know about it?
Throughout the movie, we are, like the characters, brought in and immersed within this stifling jury room. One room, the same 12 men, and little music or action to carry the audience along. But we're hooked for every second nonetheless. We feel with these jurors as we see them sweat, rain, pouring outside, and even drowning out some of their conversation as if we were right there. The film also depicts the real nitty-gritty whole of a jury deliberation. From the bathroom breaks to the handing in of ballots, it makes you live in the moment, specifically through the continuous long takes. The first one with them entering the jury room lasting around 7 minutes. And it makes you believe these are real people, with jokes interspersed.
Sorry, Blue Eyes.
Okay, fellas, let's take our seats.
Flashes of character.
Yes, Pops. It's a product I work on at the agency. The breakfast with a built-in bounce. I wrote that line.
Very catchy.
Yeah.
And visceral, real reactions to all of this. The film is almost staged like a play in the way it allows these scenes to literally play out before you.
Drunk. Oh, they're real big drinkers, all of them. You know that. And bang, someone's lying in the gutter. Well, nobody's blaming them for it. That's the way they are, by nature. You know what I mean? Violent. Where are you going? Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Look, they're lushing it up and fighting all the time, and...
It's a slow burn, and it has to be, in order to realistically depict the gradual convincing of 12 men over a case that seemed open and shut to begin with. But what doesn't seem real at surface level is why they seem so personally attached to a murder that they have no stake in. They're sweaty and hot, they don't want to be there. This question is one that the jurors themselves actually ask in the film.
Take it. You take on the responsibility. I'll keep my mouth shut, that's all.
What are you getting so hot about? Calm down, will you?
No, don't tell me to calm down. Hey,
The jurors, like the audience, have become personally engrossed in this jury deliberation and finally realize it in this moment. We are therefore directly confronted with this question of why do we care so much for a case we don't have any stake in either? And this theme of the film staring back at us seems to run throughout its length. Characters even look into the camera itself multiple times throughout the film. You're not just a viewer, you're a juror too. And that's because this movie isn't about the deliberation. It's about personhood, shown through the characters of the film. Remember, the movie's title isn't about the jury's process itself, it describes the jurors. You are faced with 12 men with very different characters and personalities, and they argue, going into a different yelling fit seemingly every 3 minutes. They're angry, after all.
But what about all the other evidence? What about all that stuff? The knife, the whole business?
Well, you said we could throw out all the other evidence.
But the redemptive quality is the effect that anger produces. The jurors, in their minds, saved this young man with reasonable doubt for his accused crime. And the way the film is shot allows us to see each of these men for whom they are, for whom their persons are, with its insistent use of close-ups. Insistent in that even when they are interrupted by another character, the camera still stays on them.
A real trash. I don't want any part of them, I'm telling you.
Listen, I've lived in a slum all my life.
Wait a minute.
Please, I've played in backyards that were filled with garbage. I mean, maybe you can still smell it on me.
Now listen.
This movie thus allows you to see through the lens of the characters, every single one, without even knowing their names. But it is a focused one, and it focuses on what the film exactly confronts you about, the work's themes. The themes of justice, identity, and society, of which not enough time is allowed in this video, run rampant throughout this whole film. And you're confronted with them in the very opening shot of the movie, a pan upwards to look at the courthouse, whose edifice reads, "The administration of justice is the firmest pillar of good government." This work was an indictment against McCarthyism after all. It makes you wrestle with those questions of what do you believe in, how far are you willing to go for it, and how is a fair society to be conducted? Because that's what people should have been doing at that time. But those questions are still very important today. The film doesn't give you an exact solution to all the questions it raises. Those themes of justice, duty, and right, broader societal systems as a whole, are described or maybe discussed.
It's always difficult to keep personal prejudice out of a thing like this. Wherever you run into it, prejudice always obscures the truth. I don't really know what the truth is. I don't suppose anybody will ever really know. 9 of us now seem to feel that the defendant is innocent. But we're just gambling on probabilities. We may be wrong. We may be trying to let a guilty man go free. I don't know. Nobody really can. But we have a reasonable doubt. And that's something that's very valuable in our system. No jury can declare a man guilty unless it's sure.
But those questions are never directly answered by the characters. It does confront the viewer with an example of what the right way should be, though, and it gives us the awareness going forward to do so too, as the jury, like the audience, exits back out into the real world in the film's final scene.